La vida funciona de una forma bastante curiosa a decir verdad, y es que quién iba a decir que aquel roster de DRX que logró salir campeón del mundo en el año 2022 y que ilusionó a tantas personas, a día de hoy tendría que tener un enfrentamiento entre sus integrantes, un enfrentamiento de vida o muerte en la Liga de Corea. El segundo enfrentamiento del playoff de la LCK fue entre la escuadra de CAIDA y Rolster en contra de la escuadra de Dplus, y simplemente con escuchar el nombre de estos dos equipos te das cuenta que vas a tener uno de los mejores enfrentamientos que pueden existir a nivel mundial dentro del competitivo de League of Legends, y es que estamos hablando de dos de los equipos más grandes e históricos de la Liga de Corea. Por parte de la escuadra de CAIDA y Rolster tienes a tres campeones del mundo, los cuales son Piosik, DEFT y Beryl. Estos tres jugadores conformaron y formaron parte de aquel mítico DRX que salió campeón del mundo en el año 2022. Y por parte de la escuadra de Dplus tienes a Kingen, que es campeón del mundo y es top laner de la escuadra de Dplus. Pero lo más interesante es que también es aquel top laner que fue parte de DRX en el año 2022. Aquel temible jugador que jugó Aatrox en la final del mundo y logró destrozar a T1. Y también tienes a SHOWMAKER, ese mid laner que fue campeón del mundo en el año 2020 y que en muchas ocasiones se le llegó a comparar con Faker. Simplemente tenemos un enfrentamiento de dioses. Todos esperábamos que este enfrentamiento fuera sumamente brutal, y desde este momento les spoileo que justamente así fue. El día de hoy vamos a revivir todo lo sucedido en el enfrentamiento de la escuadra de Dplus en contra de la escuadra de CAIDA y Rolster. Te invito a que te prepares porque estás a punto de contemplar uno de los mejores enfrentamientos de todo el mundo. También te voy a invitar a que me dejes un pulgar arriba y un comentario porque el algoritmo de YouTube eso lo toma bastante en cuenta y me ayudarías un montón. Y una vez dicho todo eso, ahora sí, comencemos. En la primera partida de esta serie, ambas escuadras nos sorprenderían con composiciones bastante interesantes, y es que por parte de la escuadra de KT, ellos intentarían jugar con el combo de Lucian y Nami en el carril inferior para intentar ganar la presión, y el resto de campeones servirían para poder conseguir un excelente escalado. Sin embargo, por parte de la escuadra de Dplus, ellos tendrían una propuesta bastante diferente, y es que por parte de Kingen, el top laner de la escuadra de Dplus, él jugaría con Rek'Sai, un campeón que ya vimos en el enfrentamiento de Hanwha Life en contra de KDF, y realmente tuvo resultados bastante dudosos a decir verdad. Sin embargo, la selección que más llamó la atención por parte de Dplus fue el pick de Yuumi, y es que a día de hoy Yuumi es un soporte que casi no se suele utilizar en el competitivo de League of Legends porque normalmente se busca que botlane pueda ganar la presión, pero en esta ocasión Dplus apostó por Yuumi, y la forma en la que ejecutaron el combo de serie junto a Yuumi fue simplemente espectacular. Con esto lograron destrozar por completo a la escuadra de CAIDA y Rolster.
And gets nothing. And Kingen, because he's just been proxying under inner, he's basically a second jungler in this game, and it's so frustrating here for KT.
Yeah, and now you take a look at this, the poke advantage in the bottom side is just getting out of control. Like, DEFT and Beryl can't even stand in the lane anymore. They don't get to play the game as Kingen.
It's already starting to get a little bit online here, and if she ends up getting a kill in that fight, for example, that is the end of the game, basically, for KT with this composition.
Don't do it, Lucid. Oh, he's going to go in and smite it away and actually hop away. And now, with SHOWMAKER getting the first roam, we got a potential play as Piosik just going to have to throw that ult in and lead perfect, as now he has pulled the Rek'Sai under the turret, makes the play. And Kingen going in for the ult, knows he can't get out, as still does a nice amount of damage, but they're going to give that kill over to BDD, the Corki first blood.
They have just been sticking around there together, and that is not enough of a lead to start to worry about the Zeri just yet, so I do agree with you. This is going to be a game that goes long. We traded dragons. It's a Cloud Soul. Atlas would be proud, and
yeah,
It's going to be a good one. There's the kick play here for Lucid.
Trying to make something of this. pyosik does have his flash, so he's just going to get over the wall, but hard to get away from Azeri. There's the ult into aiming. You know that he did go ghost in this game.
And will be quite impactful in mid-game fights like this. Is BDD desperately trying to rush back with his package as the Dragon has not been started yet. And KT do have a good fight opportunity here. pyosik still down the flash, but his ult is back up.
And Kingen over the wall. Lucid nowhere near the Dragon, though. Kingen looking to push them away. And you know what? KT's going to respect it as now Lucid over the wall. They get on top of aiming. The package goes in. And aiming slowed down. Just going to flash away. And the Zerayumi is so hard to lock down. As we can clearly see here, this fight very broken up at this point already. Kingen getting in onto DEFT. And that's enough damage. Lucid with the assassination. Taking out the enemy AD carry. But now it's Perfect's turn. But Zeri just has that extra amount of mobility to get over the wall and get away from the Cassante. It's currently a 4v4 still, but you see the health bars of DK a bit low, and now with Lucid out of the fight, it does look like they'll give this one up for now.
There's no way to contest here, even with BDD out of rockets, they won't fight.
Okay, well, Kingen wants to go in alone. He does have a Yuumi, and they're trying to take out Perfect. They're gonna get the Cassante. And I guess the fight wasn't over.
And, you know, the BDD is out of rockets here, so he's not able to do a ton of damage. Traded back here, and the rockets he is firing are being blocked by Kellen as he detaches on the Yuumi. And Dplus will win this narrow fight here by extremely narrow margins. And they went for the Sejuani and then went for Cassante top. And that's the only permafrost you have in this draft. So this feels very strange as Lucid will get caught though.
Oh boy, yeah, on vision here, not cleared out, but he does get away. The Lee Sin just providing enough. And I suppose it wasn't. And I'm not sure if DK really cared too much about it at all.
Don't forget, SHOWMAKER can disengage this as well. He's very low on mana though, so he really has to be very careful.
All right, tidal wave, a bit desperate as now the kick comes in, but BDD is gonna get away, and into the backline goes Perfect, but the zoning is in place for DK. Still, the smite is gonna go the way of pyosik as a very messy fight comes in. Lucid not really in position. Kingen going in as he's got a Zeri and a Yuumi with him to just push forward. And this is what we were talking about aiming. Just has all the room in the world to just sprint at the enemy team. KT, they get the Dragon, but they lose the fight in a huge way.
Yeah, very poor team fight for KT Rolster, getting completely outclassed by Dplus here. SHOWMAKER never even needed to ult. Wasn't under too much threat. With his Leandro, he's able to burn through Perfect's health bar here. And Dplus are going to start the Baron as Kingen with his tremor sense. Yeah, he knows where you are. You cannot hide. The ground doesn't lie.
I mean, he knows you're standing still. It's just, you're not going to get away from him for now. I mean, Kingen, yeah, he's just going to elect to ult in. I thought maybe he would just let him go because this will take a while.
TP to come and punish this. Meanwhile, Baron is taken, just to remind everyone.
Yeah, this is going to take a long time, okay? TP's coming in, and now maybe you want to give this one away. Both SHOWMAKER and BDD.
Piece of CC that could even threaten him as they're going to back away from Baron here. I think Dplus have identified with this itemization, with the back from the Baron here, that exactly what I said moments ago is if KT win one fight, they're back in the game. So let's just be oppressive. Let's play slow.
Okay.
Maybe not Kingen.
Right as you mentioned that, Kingen decides to burrow into 4 people. pyosik is going to get in on time. It is incredibly low. They can't quite see it, but now they are going to. As Lucid in the front line taking a bunch of damage, and Lucid has to flash away. Meanwhile, SHOWMAKER pretty low himself as Kingen getting into the backline against 4 people. He will eventually go down, but so will Perfect. So the tanks on both sides, the top laners do go down in the tree.
We're on the Baron again.
Yep, starting it again. This time we got 4 members. Still top laners are dead, but teleport's available for both. And the focus coming in. Yeah, aiming's got to be careful. He's just going to back out of this one. As Kingen is TPing in and gets bubbled, that's not necessarily the angle you were looking for. Thank you for the leash. Maybe it's a flip as the kick comes in, but the damage isn't there.
1 health.
And pyosik gets in, and he takes it away. There is the sweep, and aiming is still alive. He is flashing on the enemy team, looking for the kills. The redemption comes forward. And how many kills can he get is really the question. He picks up 2 as the knockup comes in from Perfect. Maybe able to take out the Zeri. Can he get the job done? Another knockup from Perfect, but it's not quite enough. As DEFT and Beryl, they stay alive just to keep the hopes of KT here after taking that Baron down.
This is the KT Dplus Kia series we knew we were going to get, Valdez.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose this in hit regardless.
Inhib will go down for sure. The question is more on how much are they going to lose as Lucid goes in, messes it up, and now we have a play onto the Zeri, but again, the Cassante lockdown is not enough, and he's just gonna sprint into 5 people, takes out DEFT, and that might just be enough. The kick is huge as Lucid will make up for the former play, and that should be the game. Beryl all alone, and is basically just penta fodder for aiming. Let's see if he does give it over. That's really the only question at this point. DK waiting on the wave to come in, but this game number 1, have no mistake, it will go the way of DK as they start off the series very, very strong. They're gonna try to give this penta over to aiming. Can he get it down as a bubble?
Beryl says no. Beryl says no. Look at aiming space on the player cam as well. They want it so badly, they will take the Nexus instead. I think a worthy consolation prize is Dplus.
La segunda partida de esta serie fue simplemente brutal por parte de ambas escuadras, porque aquí los dos equipos estaban dando absolutamente todo para poder ganar, y es justamente así como se tiene que vivir el playoff. Se tiene que vivir dándolo absolutamente todo, porque sabes que si pierdes te vas a ir eliminado. Ahora tenemos que recalcar lo más interesante y lo más importante. Primero que nada tenemos que decir que Piosik, el jungla de la escuadra de CAIDA y Rolster, aquí fue fenomenal jugando con su Lee Sin. El tipo es un maldito monstruo, y es que la cantidad de ganqueos, emboscadas, cazadas, todo lo que hizo Piosik en esta partida con Lee Sin es simplemente fenomenal. Ahora también decir que CAIDA y Rolster jugó con Veigar en el carril central, y me parece inhumano la cantidad de estragos que te puede hacer un campeón como Veigar en una partida que se extiende tanto. Es simplemente irreal que un campeón te borre con una sola habilidad. Ahora, por parte de Dplus, también tengo que recalcar algunas cositas. A ver, Showmaker se llegó a sacar jugadas interesantes con Azir. El jungla de Dplus también jugó bastante bien con su Xin Zhao, pero creo que el jugador que más sacó la cara por el equipo fue el AD Carry aiming con su Lucian, y es que el tipo se sentía peligroso. Se podía sentir como en cualquier momento podía detonar a los integrantes de KT. Sin embargo, gracias a Piosik y a su increíble Lee Sin, logró anular por completo a la escuadra de Dplus, y de hecho esta partida la cierran gracias a una excelente emboscada por parte de Piosik. Así que con esto nos vamos en un marcador de 1-1 por parte de ambas escuadras.
They will lose their Nami very early on. Can they take out Piosik is the real question. As Lucid just going to throw that ult in early on and will take him out. Now the follow-up here onto aiming as Event Horizon will come down and zones everybody away. And he gets kicked the other way, and then they just turn onto Piosik, and it's just a 1-for-0, right? Oh, that extension on the stun is going to be huge. The all-out comes out, and perfect with no Meganar in sight. He's going to try to get away from this one. It's not going to happen as now Piosik comes on in, and Kingen picks up a solo kill this time around. Really, yeah. And that does mean that DK are going to try to make a move for this. Let's see when the TPs come in, as it is in the pit. Lucid just trying to zone this one away, but it goes to the forest. DEFT going to smite it himself with this Q, as now trying to turn on the Showmaker. The damage not quite there. In goes Piosik, immediately gets shuffled out. And that might just be the end of this one, although they're trying to chase down Kingen here. The hook is going to come in, and Event Horizon will be good enough. They take out the Cassante. It's a shutdown for Piosik, and KT right back in this game.
They want more here, but I don't know about this.
Oh boy, the kick over the wall, and Piosik's just gonna flash away from the last little bit of that one. As here comes Lucid thinking about it, but
this series just is gonna live up to the Dplus hype, isn't it? It's just gonna live up to it. It just is. To get away from some of the other forms of CC.
There
look at that angle.
Oh god, and he's gonna hook the wall with Beryl, otherwise he was dead. Kind of a sharp angle there, not really Beryl's fault, but a very nice E there as another hook does come in. The ult off the Showmaker, but he immediately goes down. It's a trade, though, as the mid laner DK goes away, and now Kingen, he is stuck in the box, and that will be the end of him. A 2-for-1 in favor of KT. Now, Piosik is still going to look for the steal, as he is Lee Sin. He's got a very nice angle. He's looking for the kick. He wants the kills right into the cage. goes aiming, and down he goes. As now Lucid is going to be able to pick up the Drake, but it's 3 kills to the side of KT. A big team fight win for them.
Kill for BDD, a kill here, a 4th one for Pioshik, who sets it all up with a kick onto aiming. They want more here. SHOWMAKER does have his ultimate, so this is very tricky to play out.
Oh, perfect. He's going to get caught here. Goes a bit early, but okay, finally traded back as the dive is going to go the way of KT eventually, right? Okay, they finally traded 2 for 2. It's a double kill for SHOWMAKER.
Yeah.
Not going to name any names that have waited many items. In fact, all of the items to just not build it. But I'm sure he will. Perfect now in a little bit of trouble. Actually, a lot of trouble as the bubble is going to come through here as well. And King is just tanking up the turret. And that is a kill fed over to aiming. I think DK have identified, hey.
Perfect does not have TP. There's no way KT can stick this butt.
Okay, just run in a straight line. And maybe you avoid it all, but yeah, he's just dead. Crescent Guard not going to save him there. No vision and just desperation. And the Gnar, the mini Gnar coming on in, and as you mentioned, no flip because Lucid should not be here. The event horizon is placed down. They're looking for the turn now. Kingen is taking it up, and so is Beryl. And guess what? The Cassante is much tankier than the Nautilus, and in the trade, DK will happily take that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not farming Nautilus. This is not a center lane. You're not tanky enough to make that play. Beryl wanted to get on the backside there and potentially grab a carry.
Should have it back here in about 10 seconds, but let's see how this one does go in, as Lucid, speaking of which, is going to just charge on in, as now the hook will be dodged. Pretty hard to lock down the Lucian.
Okay, see if this 3rd event horizon is going to be enough to get them something here. BDD should have it in a second. There it is.
Ooh, it's going to go the way of Lucid, though, as he does take it down. Meanwhile, it does look like we have a sacrificial SHOWMAKER who does take a massive ult to the face.
Yeah, he thought he got out of there, but the Veigar ult will get you every time if it's triggered before you slide. Without a miracle here, I mean, Kellen doesn't have ult. SHOWMAKER is down for 20 seconds, even with TP. This is just a pipe dream. Kellen's going to try, or rather, King is going to try to flank.
Yeah, they're going to send it 15 seconds until SHOWMAKER is even alive. As will the steal come through? Lucian goes in, he steals it away from Elise Sin. How does he manage to do that? As the flip comes through, and King, and he's still having some fun on the backside of this one. Eventually goes down, but merely a Cassante moment, but it's a DK moment regardless.
I mean, Cage here, once again, not going to be too high value.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, it's kind of like Blitzcrank in a way where it might just come down to one giant cage that like turns the game. As culling is actually going to be what gets huge value in this one. You see Lucid did take a huge chunk as well. Some Qs hitting the front line here. And BDD is really beginning to hurt. You know, he had an Amp Tome in his inventory. I was a bit worried, but as you mentioned, he is going for the death cap, thankfully.
Yeah, well, it's critical. It's not the carries.
So they just gave it away.
Question.
Okay, they're just going to fight instead, I guess. The Chain of Corruption comes through, and Pioshik is just going to get stunned here on the front line. Not going to engage on that one, but now the Gnar into the wall. But that's Lucid on the Shinzhou, takes 0 damage. In goes Pioshik and Beryl once again. But the damage is coming out here from DEFT and BDD to push them away. Aiming not quite able to get access to that back line, and now it's SHOWMAKER gone. Does look like DK does not want to follow up on this one.
No, the real prize of the Dragon, though, is Beryl.
Or you could just face check in. That might just work. They're going to trade Cassante for Nautilus, and Beryl will take that. And Kellen looks like he's just fish food at this point in time. He's going to be putting the cage, flashes away as a Q lands. And once again, in goes Pioshik, but he's going to be taken out by Lucian, who flashes away and gets away from the enemy team. Yeah, they do have a very nice amount of poke if they can get in range. DK currently in control of this bottom river as KT look to push ahead as it's DEFT alone on the backside. He's just being assassinated by aiming, and 1 Q will get the job done, and immediately the Varus is just gone.
And that should be the Dragon going over to Dplus on the flank.
Yeah, banana brush control on this side is going to go the way of KT, of course, but they're down a member as aiming is looking to come on in. Pioshik on the flank here. And it might actually work out if aiming just going to face check this one. And now it's his turn to get caught to 280 carries. Just being isolated and killed for essentially nothing.
And Kingen lost half his health bar. Barrow's going in.
Oh, he's going in. I'm not sure about that one, but if he can bait a big fight for his team, it might be the answer. But he is being chipped away, and down he will go. But the stun comes in. It's McHale's to save Kingen, and now SHOWMAKER gets in with the shuffle into that backline. They take out the event horizon. player that is the Veigar. And DDD is taken out, but now DEFT is here, Perfect's here, they're on the chase, and Lucid doesn't have an ult. He's going to be taken out as...
Back to Aiming's play here, where he sees DEFT on the edge, pops his bubble there, and then goes for the flash. He's got him. Got bars.
Somebody's got to get vision. They're not getting vision. The damage is being done right now. Look at KT already about to take out the Baron, and DK do nothing about it. They'd used 2 of their trinkets.
DK, a little bit more prio than we thought they'd have going into this. Aiming has Cleanse and Scimitar, so he can play aggressively like this.
Oh, man. Will regularly pick this one up. Guma as well, because just a huge amount of poke damage as the cage is already down. The damage is being done. They're just going to take it away. It's Hextech Soul to the side of KT, and it's another objective that Dplus Key are just going to give away.
Yoshik.
Yeah, he's hiding on Bush, and this is some of the ways he's been able to get huge plays for his team, but this time it's a Cassante that he finds. Not the best target, but it's still enough damage with the Veigar at this point in time. And now Perfect on the Meganar looking for the forward play. He's going to get this flash on in onto Lucid, who is caught out and slowed for pretty much forever and has to flash away. Now Aiming is dead. Okay, well that was not the angle he was looking for.
That's is that just game? I think it is, right? No, they don't have enough minions. Media's going to push this wave in.
They don't have Baron buff either. SHOWMAKER is getting in there desperately trying to keep this wave away from the turret. But there is a cannon wave, a cannon minion rather, and that should be enough.
All right, nice try, SHOWMAKER, to clear that wave. Would have bought them enough time maybe for Aiming to come back, but not going to happen.
Okay, well that's the end of him as well, as one by one the dominoes fall, and KT, they are going to win this game number 2, and we absolutely have a series all over our hands. And I don't even know what this is going to look like for the rest of it. Who's going to win? Nobody knows, but KT.
La tercera partida de esta serie es una maldita masterclass por parte de Beryl y también por parte de DEFT. Y es que la botlane de KT Rolster decidió jugar con el combo de Rumble junto a Ashe en el carril inferior. Y la cantidad de destrozos que hicieron en la partida no tuvieron ningún tipo de sentido. Principalmente tenemos que decir que Beryl jugando con Rumble soporte es una máquina de matar. El tipo logró humillar a la botlane de Dplus con mucha facilidad. Les juro que se veía completamente ilegal el trabajo de Beryl en esta partida. También es importante decir que logró denegar tanto al jungla como al top laner enemigo simplemente como cereza del pastel. Y es que les repito que el trabajo de Beryl en esta partida es completamente ilegal. Ahora, por parte de DEFT, el tipo es un maestro jugando con Ashe. Sabe hacer su trabajo a la perfección, pero sobre todo logró conectar prácticamente todas las flechas en esta partida, dejando en contra de la pared a la escuadra de Dplus. DEFT jugando con Ashe es simplemente fenomenal, magistral. Es hermoso ver cómo se mueve con ese campeón. Ahora, esta partida estuvo con bastante dominio por parte de KT Rolster, a decir verdad. Sin embargo, la escuadra de Dplus no se iba a dejar ganar sin dar pelea, y a base de esfuerzo y jugadas super épicas por parte de SHOWMAKER, Lucid y también Aiming lograron igualar al equipo rival. Esta partida terminó con una pelea super épica en el dragón ancestral, y el final y la resolución y el cómo terminó todo fue simplemente brutal y cardíaco por parte de ambas escuadras.
With this all out, as no, he's just going to dash away from the queue, and he's totally fine.
Ooh, this game is spicy if you're a Dplus fan. You are not happy with how this is going. Perfect has some rage here, wants to set up for Pyoshik.
Yeah, Pyoshik right here. Perfect pretty low, no dominus, but maybe the Vi can save him, and the stun combo comes through, and Kingen will go down.
Got him. He did the gameplay, man. Gold for Perfect. 800.
Uh-oh, maybe gone a little bit too far this time, Beryl. As finally we see the value out of the Nocturne. Presses his R, knows that Beryl's powerful. Meanwhile, now he's ganking the top lane, and King, and he's like, wait, what the hell? Why is this guy here? Even casts his ghost, doesn't matter. He just gets flashed on and killed.
drafted this Nocturne.
Yeah, I mean,
now you have to pay for it.
That's what I was just thinking about too, because they're really going to have to go back to the drawing board for Game 4 as well. Speaking of which, they are going to pass that Paranoia in onto the Ash, who does flash away, but not enough help here, and now Pyosik all alone. You see Deft trying to help him here a bit. Lucid gets pretty low, and now a TP from BDD. Who's looking for a bit more. The flash Q, and two people caught in the cage, but Cleanse on through from aiming. He's not able to quite do enough damage. Pyosik thinking about it, but it's another kill going the way of BDD. A huge value teleport.
And Perfect looking for a solo topside. Didn't even have to TP.
Yeah, Kingan's... Is he even going to cast it? Okay, he is. He's going to get him under the turret, and now goes unstoppable. Doesn't matter. Perfect, just way too far ahead in the top lane.
Yeah, so he went Cleaver first. Kingan is just not going to be able to be around him. And also Barrel is bottom right now, by the way. Kingan?
Yeah, I think... Okay, they're going to respect it for now.
I mean, that's another turret for Perfect.
Safe to just take a turret down and get a big collapse here from DK onto this turret, but everybody on the side of KT now looking to get on in as the arrow is going to ring true. Deft does not miss those, and that is the end of SHOWMAKER. Even going to throw out an Emperor's Divide. They're pinging this. They know that Kingan's in there, but the rest of the team is very far forward as Lucid going to get one flash, but at the end of the day, it's just a dead Kingan on the backside of this one.
Yeah, he's made of cardboard, and he is burned down. Barrel just pressing Q, and he's like, all right, you think you can get me? I have flash, by the way, didn't have to use it.
Perfect is level 14, and he is sprinting at the enemy team. Meanwhile, Pyosik going in, taking a 1v2 and winning. KT are so far ahead at this point in time, as 1Q could get the job done, but not going to go into the Azir.
Emotional momentum-based team. This is going to be the arrow here onto SHOWMAKER. Got him. That's another arrow.
Oh boy, here we go again, and the combo is just utilized in SHOWMAKER again. We've seen this before. He's going to use the Emperor's Divide just as like a parting gift. He's like, okay, see you later. It was fun hanging out, and now I'm dead. That's going to be the end of Kellen as well, as DK are really kind of falling apart at the seams.
By arrows from Deft.
He's like, you want to take this fight? Sure, let's go. I don't know about it, though, as he is going to be shut down, and now Kingan going to pull Pyosik over the wall, and immediately KT giving them some angles back into this one. I don't know why Lucid is here, but I've given up on questioning, the logic of certain things in this series at this point. Lucid on the run. Woo. Yeah, no, he's dead. Yeah, just flanking.
Gameplay, individual player perspective could be rough. Is Perfect?
Yeah, he knows he's in trouble now, as here is aiming, and he's fed, he's tanky. Is he tanky enough? I mean, they're TPing into this as well, just to make 100% sure. And aiming will get the big shutdown. You see some pings on Baron, but see how this one goes. They're gonna just try to burst it down, essentially. Aiming on the front line, just trying to burst away Barrel, and the culling gets so much value. The Ash Arrow is down. And the Equalizer doesn't even get much, and now the peel with the ultimate here from the Nocturne, the Paranoia, and all of a sudden, DK, they give themselves a chance, but now we got a very scary Renekton coming on in as we're just gonna move forward, and the flash is not good from Deft. They take out the entire bottom lane of KT, and now it's a 5v3. I don't know if they really want to go for this one. BDD pretty low as well.
KT are still in a really good spot in this game, but we were writing the obituary perhaps a little bit too early as Dplus makes some clutch plays, get some shutdown gold here.
There's a Nocturne. He does not have his ult, but he has flash, and it's just going to be a flip again, and it goes to the Nocturne again. Lucy going to steal that one away, as yeah, they're kind of just food at this point, but Kingan going to pick up a kill himself. Over the wall comes Barrel alongside a Perfect, but Aiming has some space now, putting in some damage. The cage is just gonna save them, but...
And then this year, he has flash. TP's coming through, and they're like, well, we go for it. And once again, Pyosik messes it up. It's the 4th time. And then he's just telling everyone to back off. The Equalizer isn't going to be able to secure any other.
All right, well, just going to get the knock up on a Barrel. He's dead! And the Equalizer is desperate. The angle here from aiming is beautiful. Alongside of his support, and now King is going to go super deep on this one. In goes Pyosik and Perfect. Desperate to take out aiming, but they can't quite do it. Flashing in front of the queue. But this Renekton, maybe just too gigantic on the back line, going up against Lucid, who barely gets the kill with the Stride Breaker.
All right, Deft also in this 1v1
fight. I mean, the Q comes in. SHOWMAKER
not going to commit, doesn't look like, but perhaps, you know.
BDD knows.
Yeah, he's like, something doesn't seem right with the Sun Disc turret placed there.
Beryl trying to find out about it. The stun comes through. SHOWMAKER, he does more damage to Beryl for now, but he's got to get away from them. Very nice tidal wave from Kellen is going to keep him safe.
Plus Lucid turning the lights off.
Yeah.
No, not enough damage there from Beryl to take him out with the equalizer.
Yeah. Sieging, using the Hextech Soul. Beryl looking for an angle with the equalizer. There it is. Going to hit pretty much everybody in the front line. Nice amount of chip damage just to allow them to push forward. Arrow as well utilized as immediate Mikhails comes in. They want a hard engage to DK as the front line is just being melted. Down goes the Vi, and Perfect nearly goes down as well through the Dominus. As right now, SHOWMAKER and aiming, if they can get in range, they will blow up a target, as we just saw there. Nice angle for him. Just waiting for King to provide a front line, then he joins up with Paranoia.
I'm ready to enjoy the show, Valdez.
Sit back, grab the popcorn. I know Chronicler, he brought some popcorn home from yesterday. He's just sitting at home, probably munching on that.
All right, BDD is just going to push mid now that the Sun Disc is expiring.
SHOWMAKER spot. Little bit of a game of chicken, but does look like both of them will back off at the same time.
Going to be able to get this blue buff globally reset here. KT, they already had it, but now can reset it. And that's going to be a reset on the Dragon as well. SHOWMAKER is continuing to push, though. They have to be decisive, KT, here.
Yep, they're going to start it up. And DK maybe just looking for the flip. That could also be Nexus for Elder. We'll see how far he wants to go. He's not TPing into this one as there is vision in the pin, and it goes to the Veigar, as you would expect. And SHOWMAKER, he's still getting to work. They got to stop these backs. I don't think they're going to be able to. BDD TPs out of it, and he will just barely be able to save the base. As the Elder go in the way of KT, they will win the fight, and SHOWMAKER here, ooh, getting pretty spicy. I don't think he's gonna win through the Elder and the stun, and KT, they just barely get the job done.
Another wild and crazy game of League of Legends for KT and Dplus. We're now up to 9 of them this season. 9 crazy KT Dplus games. No normal ones, just crazy ones. Just ones that you are on the edge of your seat gripping tightly. You're a fan of either of these teams until the very end. You just do not know what is going to happen. KT had the advantage there. Dplus decided to commit to the split push. It's not.
La cuarta partida de esta serie me pareció sumamente interesante a decir verdad, y es que aquí el protagonista de la historia es Kingen, el top laner de la escuadra de Dplus. Primero que nada tenemos que poner un poco de contexto a la situación, porque esto comienza cuando la escuadra de Dplus decide piquear a Rek'Sai en el carril superior. Para esto la escuadra de KT Rolster decide sacar Twisted Fate para así poder counterear la selección de Rek'Sai. Sin embargo, parece que a Beryl no le interesa que le saquen un counter en contra, porque el tipo humilló y barrió el suelo con el Twisted Fate, haciéndolo ver completamente inútil a manos de su Rek'Sai. La Rek'Sai del maldito Kingen es una cosa barbárica. El tipo destrozó por completo tanto al Twisted Fate como a todos los integrantes de la escuadra de KT Rolster. Ahora, si bien tengo que decir algo que es verdad, realmente aquí todo Dplus juega bastante bien. Lucid jugando con Jax en la jungla fue fenomenal, y SHOWMAKER jugando con Azir fue también simplemente brutal. Esta partida terminó con un marcador de 16 asesinatos en contra de 4, con lo cual significa que Dplus terminó ganando, y con esto tenemos un 2-2, por lo cual significa que nos vamos al quinto mapa.
KT don't quite know, although they can easily suspect now. Pyosik knocked up mid-dash, has to flash, but he is so dead. I mean, there's just no getting out of that one after no dash, no flash, and just punished for a bit of an aggressive invade. Deep down. At the end of the day, he's just going to keep coming at you, and now knockup comes in, the ult is available, tries to ghost out of this one. Kingen just says, okay, fine, I'm still winning the trades, I don't really care. But now I have your ghost. Meanwhile, KT on the bottom side of the map, gonna look to try to 4v4 on the Chemtech Drake. This one could get pretty dicey as Lucid not even gonna go for it. It's a big sweep from the side of SHOWMAKER, and now the AoE damage is coming on in, and it's all coming up DK in this fight as now Beryl very deep in this one, and he will obviously be taken out eventually. Question is to who? Yeah, they're just going to give it over to SHOWMAKER. A massive win for DK in the play.
2 kills and the Dragon Smite. As we'll watch SHOWMAKER's Emperor's Divide here as well, as the Dragon is secured. He has a flank angle. KT thinking he can just kite back through Banana, but he says no and dumps them all into the waiting arms of his carries. And Lucid will, of course, go ahead and give this kill.
This kill for me.
Just take it. And
then he gets it anyway.
Yep.
He's also screaming, devour me," after the play. And yeah, there was also a solo kill while this was all happening. So
perfect eyes here to the ultimate coming through from Kingen. Crowd didn't quite catch that one.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wow. And now he's like, I can't even stand under the turret.
Yeah, and Pyosik here alone might not be enough with a rotation up from Lucid. Gold card is all he's got.
Now he doesn't quite have it. Lucid is here. They're not going to quite dive this one yet, as we have Talia on the way as well, as he gets kind of bullied here. But now with the Senna help, maybe it's enough. They're going to try to turn this one off to Perfect, who is incredibly low. And again, Kingen is just unkillable. And so BDD moves in and just dies after SHOWMAKER makes his own TP play. And now Perfect is, just going to be sniped by Kingen.
That was your only chance as KT.
Oh, buddy.
I just don't know how much options he's going to have with it.
Well, they're going to get the Devour out pretty early on, as now this Tahm Kench looks to be in a bit of trouble. Is quite tanky after farming, just flashes away, and now here's Kingen looking to go 1v3. As, okay, they're going to attempt, they're going to try to do it. The rocket is dodged, and even with another shove here from Kingen, he's at half health. He's totally fine. Now, this is going to give some extra time for Perfect in the top lane, but meanwhile, SHOWMAKER just picks up his 4th
He already has Nashers. He does so much damage to that turret. But a gold bottom side as well.
It's 12 out of 15 plates.
And Kingen is just like, you guys can't hurt me.
Well, they're going to try. No.
They tried.
That's not the way it works. He's ulting back in to 3 people. He doesn't care. As now a gold card comes in, and here's Pyosik as well to try to win this one. Is it enough damage?
No.
Nope, he's going to heal up again. And eventually, I think as the turret goes down, maybe, okay, they finally get the job done.
But it's in trade for an inner.
They needed 4 people.
They needed 4 people, and that means aiming and Kellen, maybe a big Pyosik kick into a shove. Some magic could happen here, but you're dealing with SHOWMAKER, who's also on 2 items now on the Azir. I just don't see it.
Well, he's going to try to get it as the sweep comes in, but SHOWMAKER just going to be devoured as well. And he'll be totally fine. Beryl has to flash away from this one. As he goes back in, gets the hook. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. As now BDD going to trade it back 1 for 1 in the support role.
Very scary there for the side of KT, but they are able to get that kill onto the Tahm Kench. They continue to siege here. Lucid is on the flank.
Oh no, BDD! He's getting wrecked side right now, and yeah, he's even gonna get flanked on by Lucid. And they tank up the turret to make that happen. They don't even need to necessarily do this, as now it's gonna be a massive shutdown going into the hands of DEFT.
Super tanky here. Doesn't have any resources, so let's see how tanky he really is.
It's gonna take a while to do this. I mean, they're gonna try to burst down the TP turret, and they get it down, but the TP does come through from the side of Kingen. It's a 4v2 at this moment, as Kingen up against the wall, he couldn't do anything, he couldn't move, and that's gonna be the end of Kellen. But it doesn't matter, because your entire base is getting killed.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a push to inhib. They got the inner turret here in bottom as well.
See, it's basically just
tug of war.
Yeah, in the enemy jungle here for DK, and now they're going to look for Beryl, who does not have a pull into the wall, it seems. Now he's going to use it, but he's already dead. So that's the end of him, and that's what happens when you choke out vision.
Now they can use,
someone gets caught.
Can use the Sun Disc turret to control this top side and then move towards mid.
Yeah, you see Kingen over the wall, just here to zone, and Pyosik doesn't really have an in. He's going to go in onto the Tahm Kench and gets devoured and just held in the mouth for quite a while, and that should be the end of that. Pyosik desperate. Nice little kick there to potentially save him, but who am I kidding? There's a Rek'Sai who does get into that back line, and he's flashing on top of the Jinx as well, who is not going to get excited. As over the top, here comes the Jax, and that just might be the nail in the coffin. We'll see how many kills they do get on the back of this side, or this fight rather, as BDD on the kite is not good enough. as even the gold card will be denied of the saving of the lives. As now DK gonna push it to the top side, and we will have our silver scrapes.
There we go. That's all it takes. A nice attempt there from KT, all things considered. Perfect, avoids death, tries to set the gold card, but they are just hit over the head by the 11,000 gold lead. The wallets of Dplus, too heavy in this one. An oppressive early game, the lost lane for Perfect. Bottom side of disaster, and SHOWMAKER coming up big, finally waking up in this series. And Dplus, as you say, will bring us to 5 games. The prophecy foretold.
La quinta partida de esta serie me parece bastante extraña a decir verdad, y es que teniendo en cuenta que este enfrentamiento comenzó de forma bastante reñida, es decir, tuvimos la primera partida que fue victoria para Dplus, luego la segunda partida que fue victoria para KT, y básicamente así ambos equipos estaban luchando con absolutamente todo. Me parece sorprendente lo que pasa en esta última partida, y es que aquí la escuadra de Dplus consigue clavarle el fatality definitivo a la escuadra de KT Rolster, y la verdad no les quiero spoilear más de lo que pasó aquí. Necesitan verlo con sus propios ojos porque es exageradamente abusivo.
Okay, Kyoshi coming over, BDD.
Oh, he's gonna flash, but he flashes and immediately gets chained up. And the shocked Teemo says it all. First blood given over to Lucid.
He flashes there in a straight line, and SHOWMAKER's still able to connect the stun there. And that is a rough start here for BDD in this lane. Bottom side here, obviously with the Nico and the Varus, you outrange the Kalista, the Alistar. Can't really do too much in the early levels, and will get rooted by the Nico if he tries to engage and give the Kalista advantage. So not much that Barrel can do here as Pyoshik is found.
Very awkward spot for him. I mean, there's just no escape. He doesn't even flash. He's like, no, I'm caught. I'm dead. And he accepts it, and that's another kill into the hands of Lucid. You sniff this one out. The answer is, for now, he's just gonna flash and hop away, and maybe it's enough, but here goes SHOWMAKER from the mid lane, and this is a Mininar without hop, without flash, and he gets slowed up, and he is just absolutely dead. Another pick off from DK in this early game.
Such a confident start here for Dplus. Lucid arguably having the best game of his series so far here. Extremely high impact, 100% kill participation here at this point in time.
But certainly this Sylas pick, as we've been talking about, could shape the rest of this game. We'll just have to wait and see how the execution is and who's really gonna pull it together for game 5.
Now, SHOWMAKER has been roaming a lot, and that means that BD has gotten a little bit of an advantage here CS-wise. Larger leads is once again Perfect.
He's
no flash.
All out is available. He doesn't have Meganar. This is free. I mean, there's just no way to get out of this, really.
Orange buff.
Yeah, orange buff making his return. Okay, well, this is one way. Delay and get some TPs. Now we got a TP in from SHOWMAKER as well. And BDD's like, oh, God, why did I even come up here? You know, at least he'll get the TP out of SHOWMAKER, I guess. But at the end of the day,
in the past, I think KT having a bit of a weird draft read in some of these. But again, it's the Sylas pick that you don't see coming. Sometimes with SHOWMAKER, when it's the R5 counter pick, you kind of wait and you go, which meta pick will he play, or is he going to play something new? And it's one of those Sylas drafts where you forget that Sylas exists because he's been played 4 times across a massive amount of games this season. So rare to see this pick on a consistent level. Just pull into the pocket picks of SHOWMAKER more often as BDD in trouble.
Oh, here we go again. Kicked immediately into the Pop Blossom. He goes down. And again, it's all set up by Lucid, and BDD doesn't even have time to flash. Pulls in a row.
Yeah.
And now it's an Inferno. I have flash. I'm going for this. And just... I'm crazy, he said.
와, 여기 있냐?
He was here.
Like, he was so confused about where Lucid's pathing was, and
again, it's going to come down to the execution in this fight. This is still a relatively close game. DK in the advantage, but KT set up on the Drake. Can they make it happen is really the question. Lucid spotted on the flank, as now the Chain of Corruption does come down. Immediately, Fate's Call going to be used pretty early on here.
Lucid on the flank.
Pyoshik getting low. They're going to use that Fate's Call. They get Lucid into the backline, but Pyoshik is already dead as the knockup comes in at a death. Perfect has to flash away, and that should be an easy smite going the way of DK on this one. As, okay, they'll eventually do it. There you go. And now looking for a bit more. They get the chains in onto DEFT as now he's hopping away for dear life. But there is a Lee Sin who is in the thick of things, gets the slow down. And BDD desperate to get away from this one. But he will also be taking out DK. I think it's just desperation, right? They didn't want to give over soul points. And it leads to 2 extra deaths. And they left Pyosik out to dry as well. He was alone on the Drake, and the team did not follow up. Crescent Guard now going to come over here on the Pyosik. They're going to let him go. Because they don't have to take the risk, DK, at this point. They have such a nice lead.
It's been so long since DEFT has been with this squad, since they made it to a finals. As the real Kellen is still lurking.
Yeah, they're just kind of having their fun with Pyosik right now. Got to be careful. Don't want to get comboed. But at this point, I guess, with the lead they have, they are confident. Now aiming is kind of just stepping up 1v3 and sniping them down. There's not really much recourse for KT, who currently have 0 kills. I mean, they haven't really made a mark on this game just yet. It's not quite as one-sided as game 4, but...
And BDD, there's no Emperor's Divide angle. Look at the split from Dplus. Who do you hit? Who do you engage on?
They're trying to wrap around for him almost too many angles. And look at the poke that's coming out from SHOWMAKER himself. Not to mention the lethality Varus, and already this is going to leash. That is not a great scenario. We do have Meganar timing here. Let's see if KT can get a pick, because that's what you have to do.
I mean, you have to push on the SHOWMAKER, but because he has the Alistar ultimate, I don't think you kill him. Now trying to find Kellen, but that's a fake. And they've just lost full control of Snar ultimate, getting very little.
Okay, well, that's perfect alone. I mean, Kellen is going to get pretty low, and in fact, has to flash away from this one. Kind of an awkward spot for him to get caught on.
BDD on this flank too, wants to make a heroic stand on this dragon. Pyosik has not been winning these Smite Wars.
Both these teams are playing this so slow, so carefully. King, now he's taking a decent amount, but a huge piercing arrow comes through and it goes to Lucid on the Lee Sin. He's gonna pick it up, and SHOWMAKER just gonna enter the fight. Now he's gonna miss the chains, but he is unkillable. Flashes on a DEFT and will take him out. BDD is all alone. In goes Pyosik. He dies as well, and DK are so close to taking this game and this series.
KT will have to respond to that when the Elder spawns. If we get to that point, if they don't die in the next 230, well, that's what I'm saying is KT, they're under so much pressure.
Yeah, they're just going in for this one. Look at the damage out of this Silas. It's insane, and he's unkillable because he has Unbreakable Will.
Yeah, and he just continues to take this Alistar ultimate and get huge value out of it.
It's the best one. It is picked up here from the side of SHOWMAKER. You see the zoom in as well. Just the insane amount of damage that they are doing in this frontline. Aiming, running through the soldiers. It's just going to get face called. What are you going to do? Can't catch anyone. Dplus Kia on the doorstep to winning in this first match of the playoffs. And they're taking their time with it. They do not want to overstep.
Stacking these waves here. They have the Elder as a backup win condition. Pyosik, no flash. Look at how low he's got.
Okay, BDD just tries to send it. He gives it his all, but it is not quite enough. SHOWMAKER is underneath the turrets, and he does not care because he still has that Alistar ultimate. This game is over as Dplus Kia will be moving on to the next stage of the double elimination bracket here at the Hoorie Bank playoffs. As down will go the next is this best of 5 goes to Dplus.
Y así es como termina este enfrentamiento entre la escuadra de Dplus y la escuadra de KT. Sinceramente esta serie fue increíble de ver, y es que ambos equipos dieron absolutamente todo lo que tenían. La verdad no me gustó que eliminaran a KT Rolster, porque me hubiera gustado ver el enfrentamiento de KT en contra de T1 una vez más en este split, ya que las Telecom War son brutales. Pero vamos a tener que esperar hasta el siguiente split para poder ver este enfrentamiento una vez más. En cuanto al roster de KT, me parece que tienen un equipo bastante bueno que tuvo un desempeño excelente a lo largo de este split. Sin embargo, en playoff les tocó enfrentarse a un Dplus que se preparó bastante bien. Así son las cosas en el competitivo de League of Legends. Y bueno, ahora nos toca esperar ver qué rival va a seleccionar la escuadra de Gen.G para poder saber cuáles serán los próximos enfrentamientos del playoff de la LCK. Sin nada más que decir, espero que este video les haya gustado. De ser así, los invito a que me dejen un pulgar arriba y un comentario, ya que con eso el algoritmo de YouTube nos trata bastante bonito. Y es más, si llegaste hasta este punto del video, te voy a invitar a que comentes salmón. ¿Por qué salmón? No sé, pero casi nadie llega al final de los videos. Así que si veo por lo menos un comentario que dice salmón, me voy a poner bastante feliz. Como siempre, muchas gracias a los miembros del canal, muchísimas gracias por seguir apoyando económicamente este contenido, de verdad me ayudan un montón, y les recuerdo que pueden compartir este video con todos sus amigos. Suscríbete si es primera vez que ves uno de mis videos. Yo soy embeejay y nos vemos en la próxima. Adiós.